You were not betrayed. You yourself opened the door to this man, turned on the light in the house, and said, "Come in." You let him in. Not because you were weak, but because inside you, there has long been a silence, familiar with pain. You can want love, care, warmth as much as you like, dream of a strong man as a shoulder to lean your tired head on. But if inside, there is a knot of anxiety, a fear of being abandoned, if since childhood you have been accustomed to reaching out for attention, you will not attract care, you will attract challenges. Because you do not attract the one you want. You attract the one you are capable of keeping in your field. And if your field is a tense string, trembling with fear, you will again choose someone who makes you resonate with pain. You are not your desires. You are your internal climate. And inside, perhaps, there still lives a little girl who is afraid of being inconvenient, who curls up into a ball when she feels she might not be chosen, who endures just to avoid being alone. And the scariest part is, you have gotten used to this. Your body knows this pain like a familiar taste. Your nervous system is stretched like a rope waiting for a push. And everything that doesn't resemble this seems suspicious to you, unreal. Love without drama, care without tension. You don't even know what it tastes like because you've never tried it. And until you rewrite yourself, you will keep encountering it again and again with a different face, a different name, but the same script. First a dream, then anxiety, then pain. Do you want the truth? Love is not something you need to search for. Love is what you become inside, in the body, in the silence. And in just a few minutes, you'll understand why your wants don't come true, how the subconscious programs your personal life, and what you really need to do for another man to come into your life with a different perspective, with a different quality of touch. And a little later, I will show you how to reprogram yourself at the level of cellular memory, how to stop being a magnet for pain, and how to become a woman who can no longer be betrayed because she has stopped betraying herself. Watch carefully, because this might be your exit point from pain, from repetitions, from your old self, and the beginning of the one who does not trade herself for love because she is already love. You sit in the evening with a cup of tea. A sheet of paper is in front of you. On it, caring, reliable, strong. With him, it's calm. You imagine him with your eyes closed. You even smile, but inside something tightens. The chest feels as if it's bound you by a rope. The stomach is tense, and a voice in your head whispers, "What if it doesn't work out?" You write the word love, and anxiety flares up in your body. You repeat, "I am worthy." But the heart beats as if anticipating rejection. You want tenderness, but your entire energetic signal screams into the space, "I'm afraid, I don't believe, I'm ready to defend myself." And do you know what the universe does? It doesn't hear your words. It hears your frequency. Because you create your reality, not with wish lists, but with how you vibrate when you express those desires. If inside you lives a woman who is afraid of being too sensitive, you will attract a man who won't notice your tears. If inside there's a girl who has always tried to be convenient, you will meet a man who constantly needs to prove something. If inside there's anxiety, you will receive silence, in which you go crazy from the unknown. This is not esotericism. This is neurophysiology. This is what mirror neurons, synapses, hormones, and Joe Dispenza talk about. Your body is a radio receiver. If it is tuned to anxiety, it will only pick up what supports anxiety. You do not choose men. Your body scans them and selects those whose energy is familiar. Because the familiar, even if it is painful, you seem safer then the new and calm. And here's what you'll learn in a few minutes. Why your brain literally chooses the wrong people for you. How your body has become addicted to the chemistry of pain, like an internal drug. And why you can't just start loving yourself until you heal the deep fear of being unworthy. This isn't about thinking positively. It's about feeling differently, on the level of the body, on the level of energy. You think that you are choosing men, that you are doing it consciously, that this time I definitely won't make the same mistake. But the truth is, it's not you who chooses, it's your programming. And this programming wasn't written on the first date, but in the room, where you were a little girl, where your mother said, "You can't trust men." Or she was silent, and dad would leave or be there, but like a shadow. Somewhere inside you, there is an unnoticed belief. Love is something to earn. Love is when I am valued, only if I make an effort. Love is the pain, but better pain than emptiness. And as long as this program is running, you will intuitively be drawn not to the one you need, but to the one who plays out your familiar script. Because the brain is not about happiness, it's about survival. It doesn't want something new, it wants predictability, but even if it destroys you. The brain says, why do you need peace if you've never had it? Here is pain, but you know it, it's familiar. And the body, it's like an archive of emotions, storing every link. Anxiety plus waiting for a message. Resentment plus shouting. Fear plus a pause in response. Every time you check your phone and there's silence, your hormones release a familiar cocktail. Cortisol, adrenaline, a bit of dopamine. And the body says, aha, here it is, love, as I know it. And when someone else appears, warm, reliable, unhurried, you don't feel inspired, you feel something is wrong. You miss the pain, you don't trust the peace, because your biochemistry is programmed for drama. It's not because you're foolish, it's because you've learned to feel love through suffering. And now, the key turning point. In just a few minutes, you will learn why the body fears happiness more than pain, how the brain automatically filters out suitable men, and how to start turning off this autopilot, step by step. But first, ask yourself, do you even know what it's like to be loved? When you're neither judged, nor changed, nor put on hold. When love is not a feat, but a home. If you haven't had such an experience, your body simply doesn't recognize it as its own. But it can be created first inside, and then outside. Perhaps right now, you are sitting in silence, with a phone in your hand, with eyes that are already tired of crying into the pillow. Once again, you tell yourself, I won't allow it anymore. I won't repeat it anymore. But after some time, everything repeats. The same coldness, the same neglect, the same pain, just in a different wrapping. And you ask yourself, why am I here again? The answer is simple, and it may be frightening, but liberating. You are not a victim of this scenario. You are its bearer. This cycle is not an abstraction. It is recorded in your neural connections. It lives in the curve of your shoulders when you tense up, in anticipation. It echoes in the pauses between words. When you're afraid to ask, do you still love me? This cycle has become part of your biochemistry. Every scene, every left return disappeared again, has been recorded in the body like a familiar play. You may consciously want something different, but your body automatically steps onto the old stage because it expects that you'll have to earn it again, that you might not be chosen, that love equals struggle. Imagine, for 20 years, you've been living in a room where the light flickers, where affection is always followed by coldness, where warmth exists only in the pauses between storms. And suddenly, someone gives you the key to a new room, with steady light, silence, and peace. Do you know what your system will say? It's too quiet. Something's wrong. This isn't love. That's why you don't recognize the real thing. Is that why you turn back yourself? And it's not because you don't want happiness, but because your nervous system isn't trained to trust. But there's good news. Any script can be rewritten, any cycle can be broken. Not through force, not through suppression, but through a new state. And in just a few minutes, you will learn how to calm a body that anticipates pain, how to feel safe inside, without conditions, and how to stop being the one who attracts wounds, and become the one who gives herself love before others do. Because yes, you no longer have to earn it. You can simply be and be enough. You already understood why everything repeats. You saw how pain became your norm. You felt that true love cannot take root on an old framework. And now, how to get out. First, stop running away from yourself. How many times have you saved others just to avoid hearing yourself? How many times have you distracted yourself just to avoid feeling the emptiness? How many times have you tried to be needed just to avoid facing loneliness? But transformation begins where you stop running away. You sit in silence with yourself and hear not an enemy, but a little girl who just wanted to be loved. You don't push the anxiety away. You don't shout at it. Go away. You place your hand on your chest and whisper, I'm here. I see you. It's okay. This is the first step to reprogramming, being with yourself unconditionally. The second step is to feel a new image of yourself. Close your eyes and see the woman you want to be. Not externally, not successful or correct, but alive, warm, calm. She enters the room and doesn't need approval. She is not afraid to be herself. She doesn't ask, am I normal? She radiates and fills the space with it. Men feel it. People feel it because you vibrate. From within, you don't pull, you don't hold back. You simply exist. And that is enough. The third step, let this state into your body. The psyche changes only when the body changes. You cannot think yourself into love, but you can feel it now. Close your eyes, take a breath, place your hands on your chest and say, I am home. I am no longer fighting. I don't have to earn it. I am love. I am right now. You are not waiting for love to come. You become the one who creates it. This is exactly what Dispenza talks about. You cannot wait to feel loved. You must feel it first, and then everything around you will start to align with that vibration. In just a few minutes, you will receive 3 simple practices that will help solidify this new state. A technique that changes your vibrational footprint. And most importantly, you will feel what it's like not to ask for love, but to be its source. You are no longer the one who suffers. You are the one who chooses. You don't have to know exactly how it will happen. You don't have to be perfect, ready, or composed. But you can start right today, right here, with the silence within. Here are 3 actions that begin to change everything. If you do them, not out of fear to subdue yourself, but out of love for your true, vulnerable, living self. You catch yourself thinking, he didn't write. What did I do wrong? Maybe I wanted too much? Stop. Don't act, don't prove, don't write first. Just feel that this is not you. This is the shadow of the old version. The one who was used to shrinking or guessing, saving. Tell yourself out loud or inside, this is my programming, this is not the real me. This is a script I no longer want to repeat. And at this moment, you are already different. You didn't go down the old path, you made a choice. And this is already a reprogramming. Every morning, even before picking up the phone, even before thoughts of someone else, imagine her, you, the new one. How she sits, how she moves, how she looks in the mirror, not with scrutiny, but with trust. She doesn't wait for a call. She doesn't hold on to someone inside who has already left. She breathes herself in as enough. You don't have to completely become her today, but you can feel her a little more each day. And do you know what will happen? This energy will become habitual, and everything that doesn't align with it will simply cease to be interesting. Every evening, or at lunch, or when feeling anxious, close your eyes. Place your hands on your chest and breathe slowly, deeply, as if inviting yourself home. Say, I am with you. I see you. You are no longer alone. You don't have to struggle. You simply exist. And that is enough. This moment is simple, but it changes the field. It brings you back inside, to a place where there is no judgment, where there is only the real you, warm and whole. Because love is not outside. It is within the frequency on which you live. In a couple of minutes, we will reach the finale, and you will understand why love stops being a search. Why do men start to be drawn to you on their own? And how do you become a woman with whom no one wants to play games? Because being next to you is finally peaceful. You are not the one who asks for love. You are her. Imagine an old tube radio receiver with a frequency dial. It doesn't jump between stations, it simply catches what it's tuned to. It can't hear a new song if its dial is set to the wave of pain, anxiety, or anticipation. You are exactly the same. You don't attract what you want. You attract what you emit. You can dream of love, but if there's anxiety inside, if every evening you go over in your head what you could have said differently, the world hears this and sends you another man who will amplify that very wave. But here's what's important. You're not stuck forever. You can tune yourself differently. Not when you become perfect, not when you lose weight, learn not to get attached, or find someone worthy. But now, with one decision, with one inner point, with one choice, whispered, I no longer live in anxiety. I no longer seek love. I am love. And I begin to live as if this is true. You don't have to be strong. You don't have to be flawless. You can be different. You can be vulnerable. You can be alive. And that's your magic. Because a woman who has returned to herself becomes a magnet, not for attention, but for true presence. A man next to her wants to stay because being with her is peaceful, because she is not afraid to be herself. If this video touched you, don't keep it inside. Share it with a friend who is also tired of looking for love outside. Leave a comment if you felt a response. Subscribe if you want to continue on this path. Not into struggle, but into gentle strength, into clarity, into yourself. Because you are no longer the one who waits to be chosen. You are the one who chooses herself. And from this begins a different story. Guy, yours.